Let's go to the other side of London, the blue side of London. They say they are the pride of London. I wonder how that is. But of course, looking at their European records, you can of
No,
course,
people can
um,
say we are the pride of London,
yeah.
but
Does London
you
recognize you
you you, you
as
know is London proud of you? So you can, like, I can just say now that I'm the pride of Africa,
yeah?
but does Africa recognize me?
Of
You
course,
understand the point? So they can compare.
clearly.
They can
So
say they are the
Chelsea
pride of the.
and Chelsea. Before we talk about the red card conundrum that Chelsea have found themselves. They seem to get a red card in every game. And
Yeah,
somehow, looking at Chelsea fans and how they used to criticize Arsenal for
disciplinary records.
exactly because we had players like Xhaka at that time who were hot-headed. Chelsea is licking red cards like
I was watching the game with a few of my friends that
mm,
were Chelsea fans,
yeah.
and at a point in time, I had to suggest to them that we should lock the doors so that the referee does not come and give them red cards,
Of course.
because it's very, very poor. You can't
Mm,
play 6 games and have 5 red cards,
yeah.
and then when you meet a serious team or a
You pay
big
for it,
team,
yes.
you pay for it, and
Pay
that's
for
how
it.
they lost that game against Manchester United. And I was
Definitely,
talking
yeah.
to Mr. Barry earlier today,
Mm,
and I said if Manchester United had not been foolish enough to get a red card against Chelsea, that game could easily have been 5 or 6.
of course, yeah.
It could easily have been five or
Second half would
six.
have been terrible.
Yes,
Yeah.
it was the first half red card that Casemiro
Now
got
God, yeah,
that
that
brought
literally yeah, gave them hope. Yeah.
Chelsea back into the game.
Chelsea back to the game. And I listened to Enzo Maresca, because one thing I do is that after every game I tend to listen to the coaches and reaction. And he said that he prefers to be losing by 1-0 than to go a man down.
Definitely.
So if you prefer this, what have you been telling this guy? Like, the disciplinary record is very poor.
Yeah.
If it's not the players, it will be the coaches. It will very soon to be the fans.
Yeah.
And so is that bad? I think the board has to talk to the coaches and the players. Like, this has to change.
Yeah.
This has to change, because they will definitely pay for it if you play against a serious.
Definitely.
Even if you get a red card, say 5 minutes to go,
Mm.
and you are leading, that could be the reason why you lose the game.
Yes.
Because 5 minutes plus added time is enough time to score
Against
goals.
a team that likes to do the late goal thing.
Yes.
Against a Crystal Palace, for example.
For example, against a Real
yes.
Madrid, against a
trouble.
Barcelona,
You are going to pay for
against a
it, yes.
Bayern Munich, because
Yes.
Chelsea are in the Champions League, they're definitely going to play this thing.
Yeah.
So Chelsea should not, and that's my criticism of football teams. Don't try to make comparisons with the weakest teams.
Yeah.
Look
Compare
for,
yourself,
yes, with the
to
best teams.
best
That should
teams,
be
yeah.
your standard. So Chelsea is playing in Manchester City, for example. They are playing an Arsenal.
Or even an
that-
Arsenal, yes.
yeah, that you don't score against
Yes,
easily.
and then you get
And then you get a red card. That's
Yeah,
that's where the game ends.
Yeah.
Now, if Arsenal were leading before, you will not be able to come back.
Yeah.
If the game was a draw, they're still going to beat you.
Yes.
And if you were leading, you have given them a way back.
Into the game, yes.
You understand? So you have to be, the red card issue is something that has to be solved.
Okay, now Maresca obviously has to talk to the players, and maybe they are too aggressive. I don't know if it's the aggression or they're just making mistakes that can be avoided. For
Chelsea.
example, last season, Arsenal got a red card. Saliba against Bournemouth got sent off in the 20th minute of the game, right? It was one-on-one. The ball had beat you. The guy was clear on goal. For me, allow him to score. We have 70 minutes more to play with 11 men and try to equalize, right? You got the red card, and then we lost the game 2-0. So sometimes keep 11 players on the pitch.
Yes.
Even if it's going to lead to a goal, allow them to score. Give yourself the opportunity
To come back.
get a comeback.
Now, listen. Chelsea, their disciplinary record is super.
Yeah.
They were leading by 3 goals to me.
Before
Around
they got
80 something minutes.
before the red card, yeah.
I think Estevao was booked for kicking the ball away. Like, who does that?
You are 3 goals
They are
ahead.
3 goals up.
Exactly.
There's no way back for Nottingham Forest.
Mm.
At that point in time, Marinakis had left to go and type the sack letter of Ange Postecoglu. At that, you understand the point.
Yeah.
Postecoglu already knew he was going to be sacked. The players already knew. Their morals were down.
Yeah.
So
So
you
there
had
was no need to
you
get that
understand
yellow
the point.
card.
So
Yes.
I think it's a poor disciplinary record. They need some coaching. Seriously, they need to be talked to. But
Quickly, let's go to Ange. Nottingham Forest are like the architects of their own downfall. Last season, Nuno Espirito de Santo had a fantastic season, as far as I'm concerned, for a team of that caliber and status. But somehow, Marinakis felt like he deserved to win the league, like we said on Friday, and somehow he sacked Nuno. Brought in Ange, and in 39 days, Ange is gone. What's the way forward for Nottingham Forest?
As it is, I don't see any way for them currently. The owner of the club was a very greedy man. A coach who was doing well with a relegation team.
Can you repeat that again? Please, can you repeat?
The,
Sixth place.
yes, the owner of Nottingham Forest
Marinakis.
is a very greedy man.
Very good man.
They were doing, Spirito Nuno Di Santo was doing very well with the club.
Considering the quality of
There was a time he was even sitting comfortably at third position.
it was even second.
Yeah, at a point in time. Yeah, third.
Comfortably.
He was the first coach who delivered a loss to an slot last season.
Yes.
They even at the return leg, Liverpool still couldn't get a winning.
Yeah.
All they got was a draw. Then the man got greedy and said he needed more. So were you expecting Nottingham Forest to just get it right at the first season? So what he could have done was to talk with the coach about what potential players they could have brought in to increase the playing level of the
Build on the
club.
momentum.
Then instead,
Have a plan. 3 years plan. 5 years plan.
like Arsenal did with Arteta.
7 years.
Oh yes. Then instead, you just dismissed.
3 games in
Mm.
You know what I
dismissed him.
discovered? The
Then-
greedy man felt he began to see himself as Roman Abramovich.
Okay.
You understand? Roman Abramovich that came into Chelsea, brought in a Jose Mourinho that delivered,
Yeah.
and then he was forgetting that at the point Roman Abramovich hired Jose Mourinho. Mourinho was European champion.
Yeah.
Apart from being European champion, there was nothing like FFP, the financial
No.
fair play now.
No, yeah.
So he gave, and then Chelsea had a very good team. Do you know that Pechek was brought into Chelsea to be a second choice goalie? It was during the preseason after I think
having
Ranieri.
a fantastic World
Yeah.
Cup with Czech Republic. Yeah.
It wasn't even that. It wasn't even that.
Okay.
I think it was Ranieri was fired or thereabouts for Mourinho to come,
Yeah.
and then Mourinho came, tested the goalkeepers he had during preseason,
Yeah.
and stuck with Pechek.
Ranieri had come second or so.
You understand? So it wasn't like as if
They had
Chelsea.
built a team.
Yes, and then he just gave a Mourinho, like Mourinho told him, like even when Mourinho told him about Drogba, and according to Mourinho's own version of the story, Abramovich was skeptical, like why are we getting a guy from Marseille that is obscure?
Yeah.
And then Mourinho told him, don't argue, just pay.
Yeah.
And he paid, and Drogba delivered. They got the league title in their first 2 seasons.
Yeah.
And then when Mourinho had 1 or 2 issues with fired him in the 3rd season.
Yeah.
So I think that was what Marinakis thought. He began to imagine, the greedy man began to imagine himself as the modern day Abramovich, and this is what we come back to bite him.
Getting Champions League revenue is massive. I know that every owner wants to achieve that, but we have known from experience that it's not easy. Newcastle has gotten Champions League revenue twice now, but you can see the levels. It's still difficult to compete
But
with the traditional.
yeah,
basics.
and we have to make our arguments from both sides.
Yeah.
The main reason I also felt that Marinakis was very, very impatient with Nuno was is because he knows that the Premier League hierarchy that used to be a top 4 and now a top 6 is currently shaky. It's no longer as strong as it used to be. So he was seeing last season and probably this season as his breakout season, because by the time Manchester United comes back, by the time Tottenham Hotspur come back, by the time Chelsea, they find their defensive, and then the top 6 will be back. Every other team will start competing to the 7th or 8th.
Yeah.
And he didn't want that. He wanted to establish himself probably with Champions League football, then get quality footballers that would only come to the club
Yeah.
because of Champions League football. Because if Manchester United did not go to the Champions League this season, but
Now, when because they want
yes,
the Europa League.
yes, but then Nottingham Forest are in Europe, right? So now, if both teams had sent a bid for Benjamin Sesko and Mbeumo, it was obvious that these players were going to come to Manchester United because the prospect of going back to the Champions League
Higher.
is higher. The prospect of winning the Premier League is higher. You understand? So
Yeah.
that's why he has been very impatient. He just wanted to, just like the year Manchester City won the league, every other big team flopped. Tottenham Hotspur and finished second that season. So it was just the only chance Manchester got
Yeah.
to win the league, and that's what they capitalized on to win the league. There won't have been a second chance for them, and that's why
Marinakis.
Mr. Marinakis was very, very furious and wanted a quick fix.
Okay, so all the best to Nottingham Forest and the owner. We hear that Sean Dyke is in pole position to take over that job. Sean Dyke, Sam Allardyce, David Moyes look like they are the coaches that when you are struggling with relegation, you can suddenly run to them.
Yeah,
And
or
they
it
help you
used to
survive.
it used to be Sam Allardyce too
Yes, yes.
before his magic wore off.
So
Yeah, so now Sean Dyke
Sean
is
Dyke
the
saved
relegation.
Everton.
Yeah.
Yeah.